And you're here because there is no better way to celebrate the birth of this nation than to engage in lawful dissent, to engage in protest. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain and inalienable rights, and that among these are life, among these, not the limit, but among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to preserve these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their powers from the consent of the governed. Do you feel like your rights, like these powers that are being expanded, are being done at your consent? No! Hell no. Hell no! And that's why you're out here today, without a doubt. Now, when I took over the Institute for Liberty for the last few years, IFL had been focused on fighting on what we called the petty tyrannies of government. And you know what I'm talking about. I don't have to tell you. They're the little things, right? The little mandates, the things that chip away at your choices, at your freedoms, what we call the petty tyrannies of government. Well, on January 20th, ladies and gentlemen, something radically changed, didn't it? These tyrannies are petty no longer, aren't they? They've moved on. This is a wholesale abrogation of individual rights. This is an unprecedented attack on freedom in America. Something has changed. And I got to tell you, it was summed up best last week, I think, by Glenn Beck. He says that it's like a sleight of hand, on a par with anything done by David Copperfield, Houdini, Penn and Teller, any of the great magicians of our time. Though Penn will tell you it's not magic. It really is just sleight of hand. They hold something shiny out here, and they don't want you to look at what's behind their back. So what they do last week, what was the shiny object they held in front of us? It was an info, no, it wasn't Michael Jackson. I don't think Obama could have planned on Michael Jackson or Fred Travalena or Billy Mays or whoever. And let's give it up. Hold on for a second. Let's give it up for Billy Mays. A great patriot, great entrepreneur. You gotta love those pitchmen. Anyway, the point is, they hung out in front of us an infomercial on health care. They tried to sell us on socialized health care, and I've been criticized, my friends have been criticized for calling it socialized health care. And I gotta tell you, when you try to nationalize something, when you try to socialize something, what is it called? Or national socialism, nationally socialized? And I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Anyway, they hang this out here, this infomercial on health care that America didn't watch. And don't you think that ABC is now regretting their decision to preempt all their rerun programming to put that junk on, right? But they hold it out here while behind their backs, Congress is about to pass at the time the largest tax increase, the largest expansion of government regulatory power in the nation's history in the form of cap and trade. They didn't think that you were going to notice that. Cap and trade, cap and tax, crap and tax, however you want to call it, but they didn't think you were going to notice because of what they were hanging out in front of you. But you not only weren't buying, you weren't going to take that. And so what did you all do? You called. You showed up at congressional offices. You faxed. You emailed. You got on the web.
And we were ignored. Exactly.
No, you know something? That's the myth they want to tell you, that we were ignored. But we got back 40 votes that we shouldn't have had. That should have been a bloodbath. The full weight and power of the Obama administration came down on the Democratic caucus. And this isn't about Democrats and Republicans, obviously, because eight Republicans jumped ship to vote for crap and trade. But ladies and gentlemen, 40 votes. 40 votes. Hey, wait a minute, I'm going to slow down for 1 second. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to give a warm, warm welcome to the DC March for Liberty 2009. These folks have come in. Let's make some room for them. Let's make some noise. Look at this. Welcome, welcome, March for Liberty. Happy America's birthday to you all. Thank you for coming over. Thank you for making the march. That's right. Someone over here just said, and he's right, they said the revolution wouldn't be televised. Think again. Anyway, so the point is, ma'am, we got back 40 votes we shouldn't have gotten. By all accounts, that should have been a bloodbath. With the power of this executive branch coming down on them, 40 Democrats jumped ship and voted against cap and trade. And that shows you the power that this movement can have. We came very close. And you know something on health care, which is going to be the next great expansion of government power? We can do it. I want to hear you say that. We can do it. We can do it. Don't tread on me. Don't tread on me. And they won't. They won't. As long as we stay active. The next round, I'm going to have takeaways for you for the next few minutes. And I'm not quite done yet. I know, Michael, you're going to come up here after I've been up there. I got the crowd nice and stoked for you, I hope. The fact is that on July 17th, you all have a takeaway. You all need to go back home. July 17th, your congressional district offices. If no one's organized a Tea Party there, what are you going to do? I didn't hear you. What are you going to do? That's right. Organize a Tea Party July 17th at your congressional district offices. See, that's where it happens. Not only while your members are back in their district offices during their lengthy recess, and let me tell you, there's no better time to invest in the market than when Congress is out of session. It's absolutely true. The fact is, you get back there with these district offices. The folks at the Capitol building are used to dealing with angry constituents. They get it all the time. And you're right, they ignore you. But when you call the district offices, when you show up at the district offices, that scares the bejesus out of them. They don't know what to do. What was that? Deer in the headlights. It's exactly right. And that's what you need to be thinking. So that's your very, very first takeaway.